This much is true. This much is true. Yeah. I know this much is true.
The prophecy is true.
That's perfect song to sing when you're sitting on the toilet.
Why?
If you time it right.
Why?
Why?
Uh-huh.
When you went true.
Poo!
You don't have to sing poo. Just be.
Yeah, but you could time that to perfection.
That's what I just said.
Poo!
Blop.
Slip out, splosh.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Honest to a Malt with myself, now Duncan Donuts, and Mike, a.k.a. Two-Puds.
Hello. I'm glad you
Mike.
adopted that, finally.
Oh, it doesn't
Didn't take much.
What to do? If my co-host has decided that's what I'm called, then it seems like the only fair thing to do is go with it.
At least you can branch off and make coffee and stuff now, so yeah. The future's yours, my child.
Who doesn't like donuts anyway? I mean, they're great. You know, not as many calories as you think.
Well,
200-ish a pop. You can have 10, probably about 14 in a day. Just don't eat anything else. Water, you'll be fine.
That'd be actually pretty good. I'd love to do that. Just eat one food up to your calorie maximum for the day.
Absolute limit.
Do it for a week, just see what happens.
Well, you've probably done it before. You just have a large kebab. Done.
Yeah, but just that meal. Like just carrots. Eat nothing but carrots.
Oh, you'd have to eat so many carrots. Can you imagine how many carrots?
That's like a challenge.
I'd have to look that up. How many calories is in a carrot? Bear with me.
A few moments
later. Carrot calories per carrot. I mean, 41 sounds like, it's per 100 grams. I don't know how many grams is in each carrot, but
that's probably about 100 grams.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Well, if it's
dense. It's a dense vegetable.
Well, in that case, you haven't got to eat that many, have you? You could say, if you just rounded it up to 50 and say you had a slightly larger than average carrots, then what are you looking at there? 20, 40, 50 carrots in a day. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, if someone was breaking into my house and all I could grab was a vegetable, a big carrot would probably be my go-to. Of all the veg.
I saw him off. You'll be on the front of the Sun saying, I saw him off with a carrot.
And I could see it.
Sexist.
And I could see it as they were leaving.
The person breaking into your house could have been a lady. It's totally possible.
True.
Let's be open-minded about this.
Yes.
Yeah. She's coming in to steal your carrots.
Anyway.
So what we doing today?
Back on track.
So episode 42, and what's the name of the episode, Mike?
So as you said, episode 42, and today is Whisky Milkshakes Are the Answer. Episode 42.
Yep. Level 42. Yep. It's actually a nod to the book, isn't it? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where it says that 42 is the answer. So we've been making whiskey milkshakes, and we're going to get into that. Mm-hmm. But before we get into that, Mike, what's been in your glass and what's been up your arse, my friend?
Go on, Mike, tell us. We're dying to hear. What have you been drinking this week? What has been in your glass?
What's been in my glass this week is a variety of booze, but mainly, again, the Coloman Sani. I bottle killed one, straight away got into a second one, pulled it out of the cupboard. The neck pour was outstanding, so much better than the end pour of the other bottle. So it really didn't age well. So whether the cork wasn't that great, I don't know, but the taste was outstanding on the neck pour compared to the other one that's probably been open 5 months.
Yeah,
that's that. Long. So yeah, really, really good dram. Represents good value. Everyone's shouting about it at the moment.
Not me.
I know. Not you. You hate it, but yeah, Roy Aquavite on his Everlong whiskey shelf. Can't remember that terminology you used, but again, that's one of those whiskies that will always be there. And yeah, I'd agree. I'll always try and have a bottle now because, like I said, represents good value, tastes amazing. I love.
You don't mind the sort of farmyard,
their whole
farmyard
love
funk. It's not funk though. It's just like manure, like someone shoveled manure in your drink. It is.
That's some of the bloody Waterfords.
No,
cow's meat in it.
It's in that too.
Nah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, I've grown up near farms. There ain't no cow shit.
All right, sheep, dung, whatever.
Yeah, so how about you? What have you been dramming on since you spectacularly fell off dry January? You're guilt-free now. Obviously, we're into
Oh,
February,
yeah, we're way past that. I'm born again. Yeah. It's
Born again!
I was rechristened in a river of whiskey.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, the river.
Baptized. Just pouring like a bottle over your head.
But standing in whiskey, the whole river is whiskey. It's good because I made it whiskey with my hand. Reference a pod we did recently.
Yeah, because you touched it.
I took my glove off, didn't I? I took my velvet glove off.
The whole
I'm having
world.
to check. I had a wee bit of Phoenix Rising. I also had a few days off the booze, so it's been more sensible. I tried a bit more of the Loch Lomond Distillers Edition 2, the peated one, right? I remember why I tried that. But what I did try was I opened up a bottle of Ben Nevis 10 from 2014. I bought auction. I think I got it for about £50-ish, and it is a real.
It looks so old.
I love the label,
and the marketing and stuff, doesn't it? It looks like you've just pulled it out of your dead grandparents.
I just found it at the back of the cupboard, the back of the whiskey cupboard, and I thought I'm going to crack that open because. Usually, I'm a big fan of Ben Nevis, unless the cask has changed it too much. So I thought, let's see, because this is their core range at the time, isn't it? So it's only 46%, right? But let's reminder, this is the distillery that Nika bought, and the finish on it does taste quite a lot like Nika in the barrel. You can see the similarities massively. So,
imagine.
Well, you won't have to imagine because I'm gonna. If you haven't got Nika in the barrel, I will send you a sample of both so you can try.
I have.
So you can try this side by side with it. Only the finish, the rest of it's not the same. But it's a reminder for me why I love Ben Nevis so much. It's really full on the nose. I mean, really powerful. And I'm getting like olive oil, char, dirt. I get like dusty wood chop. You said when you were cutting wood in the garage, that type of genuinely really get it like strongly. A bit of the sherry comes through, not as much as I was expecting. And then get like green apples and apricots and like satsumas or something like that, tangerines or something, right? And then on the palate, still oily, still dirty. Interesting, you can smell the oiliness on the nose. I always think you can smell it's oily before you even try it. And it's quite a dirty dram.
It's a dirty old dram. It's a dirty
not in a peated
old
way. It just has this kind of sort of slightly dirty note to it, but it's in a good way. And then you get some kind of tropical fruit. I personally thought it was apricots and pineapple, but I mean, it could be anything really. I mean, but that's what I got. I definitely got apricot. I think maybe I got pineapple. Faint smoke, I mean, really a hint of smoke. Definitely some tobacco, definitely some caramel. And the finish is like basically satsumas or oranges or tangerines or whatever, spice, green apples and vanilla. And it is just really, really good. Like, I mean...
But them some tasting notes, boy.
Yeah, but what the thing about it is it just tastes...
Complex.
Yeah, but complex but simple. And you try it, and it tastes unlike anything else that you taste. And I think this is why
or just maybe it's done correctly.
Maybe, but I think this is why Ben Nevis has such a name for itself, because generally the core range does taste quite unique, right? Which is, it tastes like its own thing. So that was cool. I tried that, and in my glass now, I have to say thanks to Dram Busters. I fell off the embargo as well. I lost the embargo to you, Mike, didn't I? Right.
You did.
Because Dram Busters
failed on dry January, and he failed on the embargo because they had a
they still got it on technically, but a bunch of stuff's already gone. So they are having remedial work. And somebody said, "Is this shop legit?" Decent person said that, and they were like, "We've only been around for like about 100 years." Yeah, no, we're well dodged. And
sold.
I mean, they were on festivals as well and stuff like that, and they had Tamdo 18 down to about £115, which is really, really good value. They had loads of stuff. Nice. I think also a bottle of Lakes, like one of the special edition ones for about 60 quid, one that I haven't tried. They're 46.6%, good value. There was loads in there. There was something for everyone. There was Glenallachie 15 for like 50-ish pounds, and Glen Scotia 15 for £56, and it just went on and on.
Yeah, there was like 40% off some of the prices, like a genuine 40%.
Yeah, when the cask strength Glenallachie's, the ones that people like, the sort of 9 and 10, they were on there for just over 50 quid, right? The batch, the batch strength ones, they're done at cask strength. the 10-year-old ones. There's so much choice, and they've still got stuff left. I think like Coach Built that we tried on this pod was down to like 32 or 33 pounds. That premium blend, premium luxury blend, which is is good, and there's a bunch of other stuff on there. So if you haven't had a look yet, I think they're just shifting stock. Basically, they don't want to move it from place A to place B, which is fair enough.
By the time this is out, they might have some left, so it's definitely worth checking out the Dram Busters to see what's going on. But yeah, it's funny you said you had a few days off. I think I've actually drunk less now dry January is over, where I was purposely actively drinking. And just did the old-fashioned binge drinking.
You're trying to rub it.
Weekend.
You're trying to rub it. You're trying to rub it into everybody.
Yeah,
like, look at.
I just eased off.
Now you're drinking like a normal person.
Yeah, and so on the weekend over the rugby, I poured myself some Irish whiskey. I had that Rowan Co. From my wedding, cast strength 13. That was a lovely grain, and then just dived into some Penderyn, obviously for the Welsh game, which we.
Yeah, it was a great second half, though, wasn't it?
Congratulations to Scotland. Yeah, but Scotland had a really good first half.
So only a point in it at the end.
Yeah, still a loss, mate.
Still a loss.
Fine margins.
You would have been just as happy if it had been 27-0.
It's a game. It's about the inches. Those you take around, Joe.
Is that supposed to be Al Pacino? Oh my, that was terrible.
Yeah. I'll do it.
I only guessed it because it's the
Al Pacino.
It's the most famous speech in any American sports
which I got wrong
of all time. So even though it was nothing like Pacino, I was like, who's he probably trying to do? I guess he's probably trying to do that famous Pacino speech. Yeah.
Maybe at this point, I'll insert some of our impressions we shared over WhatsApp with each other of accents.
Yeah.
Right now.
Now I like a nice Scotch whiskey. And this Kilcho Man is a nice whiskey. And if you don't think so...
Well, I don't think that's the problem. And you're not thinking either, which is also a fucking problem. Okay, now my name is Michael Caine, and I am telling you I do not like Sinead, okay? As Michael Caine got older, his voice got deeper and a bit more broken up. But again, I've had too many drinks and I can't do it.
Well, maybe not. So what's been up your arse then last week?
Mate, absolutely nothing. I have been on cloud 9 in terms of like negativity. There's been no bad influences, all chilled, all good. Nothing amazing either. Just
I would love
literally
to write a book called Cloud 9, which is about some future society where everything has gone massively wrong, and it's called Cloud 9.
Yeah. Catch on that. No, I am all good. Literally, very little going on in my world. What's happened? Baby update. Right. We had our latest sleep regression, so she basically just completely kicks out of all routine sleeping wise and just goes haywire. And then after like 2 days back into it, she just woke up and suddenly had the ability to grab stuff. It's like she shuts down for like a couple of days, wakes up. They update her. It's like Windows.
She powered down.
Shut it down. Boom. Right, turn her off and on again. Come in and just suddenly everything is grabbing, like just like your hair, your collar.
Yeah, they hold on properly, don't they?
So, yeah. So that's an update from life, but no negative, no good. We're all good. But how about you? You're bound to have some negativity. Come on, hit me with it.
It's just been what's the word? One thing after the other, really. I mean, it's just piled on. I mean, for a start, we were making a podcast this week about making milkshakes, and the blender's broken. It's been broken for months. So then I started contacting.
Who, Michael Henry? Is he okay?
It's the broken blender. So then I started, because we don't blend stuff. Just eat fruit whole, like you're supposed to, because you've got teeth, those things that are useful in your mouth. So don't blend things anymore. And when I did have a blender, I found I was just blending stuff for the sake of it. So sort of given up on that. So anyway, we were making a podcast about blended milkshakes. Pretty hard to make a milkshake without, So I've had to do a lot of shaking in sort of protein shake makers to make these milkshakes.
I mean, if it helps, I've spent £200 on a new food processor because my old
that does help actually. Somebody offered me to borrow a food processor, and I said no because they're just too messy. There's too many components. I just want a blender. I don't want something that does about 1,000 things. So there's that. Nice. Leo rolled in fox poo again. So he's had a bath. That was pretty annoying. And you know what the whiskey community can be like wherever they are. I was watching Joe Rogan from Netflix. I don't know. I think it's from like 2018 or something. It's one of his stand-up things. And he was saying that if you have any kind of group or community and there's no test to enter into it, you know, it's inevitable that at least one person in 100 is going to be a total moron. Right? It's just a given. There's no test. There's no barrier to entry. So here we are, all the whiskey nerds around the world. Obviously, for every 100 people, one's going to be, you know, bit of a moron. So we have to ask ourselves: is it you? You know, we should all look at ourselves. Is it you? Is it me? Is it you? Is it who is it? So anyway, we're on this. I posted something. I saw Inca Larissa from Whisky Sisters, the podcast that's finished now, and she was just talking about like shades of whiskey, and I thought that's a a pretty interesting thing. And I don't know, but in my mind, it made me think. I went to pretty much. I would say that my favourite whiskies are not the lightest and not the absolute darkest. And then I suddenly thought to myself, I could draw a bell curve distribution on that, which makes sense. And I call it the Bell's curve. So I drew a graph, and on the y-axis, is that right? The vertical axis, I called it me likey, right? And on the me likey, that's what I called it. It said me likey. And on the x-axis, or the horizontal axis, if I got them the right way around, maths was a long time ago, I called it, whiskey colour, right? You know, is what it is. And so I'd drawn the Bell's curve where, you know, it looked like a bell, where it's basically a bell curve distribution. And lots of people taking this really seriously. They're like, you don't like dark whiskey? I'm like, yeah, I do like some dark whiskey, but generally speaking, my favourite whiskey is not the darkest whiskey. That's the whole point, right? Yeah. And it's also not the absolute lightest whiskey. You can't tell me that all your favourite whiskies look like vodka, or that all your favourite whiskies look like you've poured Coca-Cola.
Toffee.
And so people are writing to me saying, I had this great one that tasted of... I'm sure you did. So have I. I've had ones that I really like that are really dark as well. I'm just generally saying that my favourite whiskies are usually somewhere between light and dark, not absolute light or dark. And there was some guy on Instagram. What did he write? I'd had to write to him. This is not serious.
So if it is Bell's and too dark, is it a no? Bell's typically are blends, so you won't even find the Oloroso cask up to 40 years old. Blah, blah, blah. It goes on. It looks like an AI-generated post. And anyway, you responded politely, but I couldn't take it. And I went, not all Bells are blends. There are some ends.
Which was
in Bell
which
ends.
Was good. You didn't explain it. You didn't explain it at the end, though. You just left it.
Didn't have to explain it. Just left it. Like, have some thought. And he put, they are indeed. Arthur was a blender.
What is that?
Oh my god!
Anyway,
dude.
You said yeah. Anyway, so that was up my arse a little bit, which is just like if you do some light-hearted content and you do an axis on a graph called me likey, it obviously isn't that serious, is it?
Oh, and it's not trademarked, by the way.
Oh, yeah, he said it's
because you put a TM. I don't think the Bell's curve is trademarked.
No, I just trademarked it for a joke.
And he's like laughing as if like, just because you've drawn TM doesn't mean it's technically trademarked, Duncan.
Well, do you know what? I'm so happy he explained that to me, because I really thought for a second that I trademarked it. Yeah.
I was so tempted to post a picture of him that I found on the internet in his pants, because he's a male model that does jiu-jitsu as well.
Is he Zoolander? Is he Zoolander? Is he Zoolander free? Yeah.
It is class. I'm not going to say the name. People can go and find it. It is brilliant. You can feel free to troll away. Because
anyway,
funny,
I just think he just got the wrong end of the stick. It is what it is. But yeah, that was slightly aggrieving. What else? I don't know. There's probably a couple of other things, but that was the main thing, I think.
Surely that's enough negativity.
Well, the positivity is whilst we're recording this now or in a few moments' time. A few moments later, we will hit 10,000 plays. So it's really just to say thanks very much to everyone for listening to the podcast for the last 11 months. Yeah, momentous.
10,000.
Come up to a year, and we'll we're going to roll past 10,000. By the time you've listened to this, we will definitely have rolled past 10,000. So thanks so much if you're...
Because I'll have listened to another 12 episodes just to tip it over.
Yeah, just a minute or so of each one. That's all you need to do. Right? So we've both done research, haven't we, on whiskey milkshakes. I can't remember. I think what inspired this was all the chat about milkshakes and bots on Twitter, or X as it's now called. and all the bots that have been following people and responding to words like milkshake. So we thought, well, let's make some whiskey milkshakes. Let's come up with some recipes and have a go and see what we can come up with. So, what should we do? We've listed out the recipes. We're going to post a blog on our website with what we've done. Should we do it one at a time and discuss the different recipes? How do you want to do it here, Mike?
Well, if you want to dive into yours, because I kind of did one recipe with different whiskies. You've gone all out different stuff. So start with you.
My milkshake brings all the bots to the yard, and they're like, is it whiskey you poured? Damn right, it's whiskey we poured, we can teach you, but we'll have to charge. Our milkshakes brings all the bots to the yard, and they're like, is it whiskey you poured? Damn right, it's whiskey we poured, we can teach you, but we'll have to charge.
So I tried 2 sweet ones and 2 kind of sweet, savoury or sour. So something kind of a bit more balanced.
Yeah.
I should be wearing my glasses here, struggling to see my notes. So for...
Do you want to grab your glasses?
No, because then it'll affect how the headphones sit on my head. So I'll get noise leakage, and whilst I'll be able to read my notes, Mike will have a go at me afterwards. You don't want to see that side of him. So recipe 1. We were all following the same base recipe, Mike. So why don't you you talk us through the base recipe, how you get generally a whiskey milkshake right, and then I'll go into my recipes. How about that?
So generally, it's around 60 ml of milk, or CLs. I get so confused now. I think it's 60 ml.
60 CLs would be
60
tons.
ml. Right.
I cannot let this
whiskey,
slide.
dude.
You keep getting mils and sils wrong.
No, you got it wrong last week. You're telling me I was wrong.
No, you
said
right. That 15. You said 15 mils was what you paid £15 for, and I was like, that's a really expensive whiskey. Did you mean 15 sils?
Oh, yeah,
you got it wrong.
Yeah.
I got it wrong. So you got it wrong again. It's okay. And then you had to go at me. Twice. You gaslighted me.
Yeah.
Then you gaslighted me. Instead, I got it wrong.
So say sorry,
listen,
and I'll move
Mike,
on.
I'm so sorry for my mistake. Let's move on.
There, fine. So 60 ml of milk is your base thing, and then it was weird because you use American recipes. Essentially, it was around sort of 260 to 270 grams roughly of ice cream mixed in with the milk, and then go from there. So that's kind of your base concoction.
So maybe it'd be better for you if we use the full word instead of the abbreviation. If we said centiliters and milliliters in future.
No,
too much.
It's too many letters, mate.
So the first recipe, I thought I'd go for something really classic. I got 3 types of ice cream from the supermarché. I got salted caramel, chocolate, like cart door chocolate, something like that, and vanilla. I was like, I need vanilla. So that was all I got, and then I thought I'd make other stuff on top. So first one, I went straight down the line. I tried 60 ml of milk, maybe a tiny splash more than that of milk, with 4 scoops of salted caramel, and I put 45 or 50 ml of Talisker X Parley in there. You know, that kind of peated cognac cask Talisker? And I should have done this the other way around, but that was my favourite of all of them. It was outrageously good. Because salted caramel works really well with peat, doesn't it? Right? I mean, it's just everything you want. It tasted like salted caramel. It was creamy. You got the raisins. You got the peat smoke. And the Talisker's not too full on. You know how it is, right? So that was incredible. Do you want me to do recipe 2? Or...
Yeah, go for it.
So recipe 2, I thought I'd go a bit more left field. I'll try something wacky. So, 60 ml of milk and a splash for me. 4 scoops of vanilla ice cream. Then I did some lemon zest.
So I
zested a lemon. So that's like, you get out the grater, don't you, on the fine bit, and you zest it up.
Unwaxed lemons, let's point out.
Right, yeah. And then sprinkle some sea salt, right? And then finely chopped thyme.
Ooh, you lefty.
Yeah, it was actually really good. And what whiskey did I put in with it? I thought about it, and I thought, I think it's going to have to be peat again, but I need something that's got a bit more punch to it. So I went with that cask strength. We think it's Lefroy. You remember that Secret Isle one that really tastes exactly like Lefroy? But I mean, if it was, it's just a very bold kind of citrusy. What is it you say that's the common tasting note in the Freud?
Heat.
Tune in next week for
lime,
more.
I get lime.
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
kind of citrusy. Yeah, it's kind of citrusy.
And obviously, the more TCP side,
it has a bit of that. It's not
that
it's
lime.
not too TCP like, I'd say, but anyway, it feels like a Lefroy cast strength to me, and that works really well with the lemon and the thyme. The thyme was incredibly finely chopped up. I mean, it was like dust. I turned it into dust, right? So it wasn't like you were drinking. I was just pulling another thyme leaf out of my. Thyme leaves are very small anyway, but I turned it into dust. So between the sea salt, the lemon zest, and the thyme.
How long did that take?
To make not very long.
No, like to cut it up.
I mean, again, not very long. I mean, with a decent knife, 30 seconds.
Oh, so
no,
not
the prep time
at all.
was probably sub 5 minutes for that one versus 2 minutes for the other cocktail milkshake. But that one, I'd probably only score about 7 out of 10 because it was one of those ones that's really good. I'd say that's the kind of thing that you serve with a meal. So I did. I actually served it with a meal. We had dinner one evening and I served it with dessert. I served it with Sicilian lemon pancakes.
Oh.
So I served it in a shot glass with Sicilian lemon pancakes. I think it also had some whiskey honey on it. And actually, it went really well. It worked.
Did you have like smoke under a little
God,
bowl
I
and
wish.
lift the lid off?
Yeah.
Like, welcome to Shoreditch, Maria. We're eating
Heston
out at home.
Blumenthal kept trying to come out. Get back in the kitchen, Heston. Get in there.
Get in there, you bald ginger.
Stop pretending you made this. Unbelievable. That looks a lot like that famous chef they were saying to me. It's not. It's just, he's just come around to borrow something. Yeah. So that was decent. I wish I'd done the smoke thing or whatever it is, the fake. That'd been cool. Do you know what you would have done is, would have made it and then I would have put an air of bacon over the top of it and you would have lifted it up and you would have got an air of bacon and then you would have drunk the milkshake.
Well, in the future, if you want to do something like that, just get some oak staves, shave a little bit off, get a blowtorch, just burn it, and then you could put tiny bits of like already cooked bacon over the top and it'll just gently simmer, put a lid over it.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Okay, you can show me that next time we hook.
I can be fancy when I need
Next
to
time
be.
we hook up, you can show me that. I'm just sipping that Royal Brackler 15-year-old from moves sample bottle closer to me. Woodrose of Edinburgh Royal Brackler 15-year-old 55.8% sample that.
I've seen a couple of those Woodrows. They were in the Drambuster sale actually. There was an old Pulteney going.
It's a free sample from Drambusters. Sent me through. So I guess it's because I ordered a couple of bottles or whatever. I had a bit of a chat with them on the phone. They're decent guys, nice people. But I was just
see, you speak to good people on the phone. I just grab managers in Tesco.
Oh, have you got his number yet? No. Oh, it's such a shame. No. So recipe 3, I'm going to go for recipe 3 was a bit more left field again. So I thought. I could see this avocado in the kitchen. I was like, I want to do something with an avocado. So I was thinking, what goes with avocado? I was like, it's going to have to be vanilla. So I used half an avocado and I mashed it right up with a fork. Yeah, so it was like tiny, completely like mashed up. 4 scoops of vanilla, again, 60 mils of milk for me and a splash. I didn't want it to be too like a thick shake. I think you can just adjust the milk. Then, like probably about half a teaspoon of paprika.
Yeah.
And then I used for this one some of the malt riot from Glasgow Whisky Distillery, the blended malt scotch. Because it's kind of malty and it's kind of like citrusy and light. It's 40%. So I dialed that up a bit. I put in a bit more than 50 mils, just the full 60 mils. But I tried a tiny bit myself just to check. And then I put the rest of it in because it's not quite as strong as the other whiskey. So I put 60 mil of that instead of 50 mil. And it did actually sort of work out. Now, bizarrely, I really liked it because it wasn't too much in your face. So it was kind of malty, it was zesty, it was warming, smooth. You got kind of that smooth, creamy avocado sort of flavour. Obviously the vanilla was there as a base. So I thought that was really decent. I would make that again. I would make it again.
I'm going to veto you because you have made 2 milkshakes and a smoothie.
Is that a smoothie, is it? With 4 scoops of...
I reckon you've put avocado
4 scoops
in there, mate.
4
That's a
scoops of vanilla
smoothie.
ice cream.
We'll do a poll. We'll have to do a poll because I think you've made a smoothie.
With 4 scoops of vanilla...
You've crossed all sorts of lines. There's international conflict now starting because of this.
It's all kicking off. People think what's going on in the Middle East. No, it's not. It's because of this. Yeah, this avocado.
It's the avocado farm. There's riots as we speak.
How dare he call it a milkshake? So
yeah, that's a decent poll actually.
Yeah.
So has Duncan created 2 milkshakes and a smoothie or 3 milkshakes?
Well,
yeah. Of your 2 milkshakes,
no,
and smoothies,
I did 4.
You said your first one was the favourite.
4,
Oh,
yeah, and the
4?
4th one, I was like, I'm treating myself this
mate.
time. I'm not doing anything left field.
Go on.
So I was like, I want something that is exactly what I would expect. I would buy it sort of like if you went to like a burger bar, right? And they did milkshakes on the menu. What would I be getting, right? So I went for 2 scoops of salted caramel, 2 scoops of chocolate, 50 ml of Booker's Lumberyard, batch 7 or whatever, and check it out, half a teaspoon of Biscoff spread. Just so I could call it, that will be the Biscoff. I snorted.
Very,
But
very
Biscoff actually,
good.
it's got peanuts. He snorted as well. It's got peanuts. It's like sweet peanuts, isn't it? Oh, mate, Biscoff's so good. So I saw this Biscoff spread around a neighbour's house and asked if I could try it, and I was like, that is exceptional. So then I bought it from the supermarket. So I just put.
That must have been your favourite.
It's almost too sweet for me, but if you put it in something like this, no, not the milkshake. The milkshake wasn't too sweet. I think bizarrely, my favourite was still the salted caramel and Talisker. So if I'm going to put it in order, my favourite was the salted caramel ice cream with Talisker ex Parley, and then after that it was probably I've got a sweet tooth. Then it was probably that'll be the Biscoff, right? Which was half salted caramel, half chocolate ice cream with the strong Booker's Lumberyard bourbon. Then it was most definitely the controversial milkshake / smoothie, the half avocado, 4 scoops of vanilla, sprinkler paprika, malt riot, milk, etc. And then after that, it was the vanilla thyme, lemon zest, sea salt, car strength, the Frag. But it wasn't that one was bad. It was still right. It's just that it was a bit confusing for your brain. You were like, is it sweet? Is it savoury? I kind of like it. Do I like it? That's why I paired it with a meal and something else that was sweet, because I was like, it feels more like an accompaniment, right? Like rather than you wouldn't want a whole large glass of it. Put it like that. But if you're reading this on our website later, make yourself a whole one. Just knock yourself out. Get involved. Yeah. So that was my go. What do you think?
Yeah, decent. I like the sound of your smoothie. I would pay. I can see myself paying £7 in a gym for that, so that counts as a smoothie rather than a milkshake. But yeah, I mean, looking at some of your pictures as well, the lemon zest one, I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, you like that one,
good.
did you?
That was like, yeah. Just looking at the component parts, I was like, yeah, I want a bit of that. That sounds good. Obviously, I didn't taste it, so I can't tell. But I mean, that did check my boxes because I love a bit of lemon. Love a bit of lemon.
I would have liked to make one that was even more lemony, I think, in hindsight.
Yeah. We'll get a lemon sorbet, maybe.
Yeah.
In the future.
Wouldn't be a milkshake, though. Wouldn't be a milkshake, would it? What we'll do is because you're going to go for your recipes, but we'll put the blog up on the website. And whenever we do one of these, we'll just add it to our blog article about whiskey milkshake recipes we've made. Yeah. So go on then. What did you...
Yeah. I took a different angle to you. So I made a big batch of the base sort of milkshake. Measurements, as mentioned earlier.
Go on.
Yeah, basically. And then tried different whiskies in that to see which one worked well with the whiskey. Yeah.
You took a more scientific approach. I just went for that. Oh, I was art, you were science. I was art, you were science, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. You are in like a little lefty restaurant in Shoreditch. I am a McDonald's machine just pumping out.
And we know who's making more money, you,
whiskey.
But you've got no soul. You've got no soul.
I don't know. You say that because some of the whiskies I put in, they were a bit more expensive. So I did my vanilla base and then used... so first up, I did the Bunnahabhain 12 fast strength.
In a milkshake?
Yeah.
Sacre bleu.
That was probably my least favourite of the four. Just didn't quite work with the vanilla. I think that one I'm going to try it again with maybe like a raspberry ripple.
How much did you? I have to know how much whiskey did you put in these milkshakes?
So basically, a good healthy tablespoon.
What's that in mils? Or
I don't know. Tablespoon. They're all. It's a measure.
How much stuff do I have to look up these days?
I don't know. It's fine. Anyway, regardless, I think that would work better with, as you say, a sorbet or something like a raspberry ripple, where the sort of it'll work well, a bit of fruit. So moving on from that one, I then went on to
17.75 milliliters on a tablespoon. I think the problem here might be you just didn't put enough whiskey in them.
Who said there's not enough whiskey in them?
17.75 mils.
Yeah, but I've made one milkshake, split it into smaller glasses, so in ratios.
Oh, so you took one. You made.
I sent you a picture of what I was doing.
Well, hang on, but did you split four?
Yeah,
did you split four scoops?
Split
four scoops
ways.
or more than that?
I used half a tub of the Sainsbury's ice cream.
So that sounds to me like that's probably about like 12 scoops or something, or 8 scoops.
I don't know. I haven't got a scoop. I used to.
Hang on, we said you were the science one.
Yeah, I gave exact weights earlier, so stick to those. You're the one confused with scoops, because is a scoop a set measure?
I feel like the ratio of whiskey to milkshake is quite important. That's all. What details? Well,
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Go with the ratios I said earlier. Split it 4 ways, and then you've got this. So, as I said, butter happen to our craft strength. Don't bother with the vanilla. Moved on to Jameson single pot still. Better, really sort of.
Why?
A lot
How is it better
than the Bunner. Just worked well with the vanilla because they've got obviously the single pot Irish whiskey, always
biscuity,
biscuit and vanilla notes anyway. So it kind of just same
smooth
flavour notes.
Biscuity.
But then, dived into then Lafroig quarter cask, and that to me potentially nearly the best, definitely second, very very close. But Lara walked past and I went, try this. This is the future. And she nearly threw up in the glass. So she can sometimes take a bit of peat, but milkshake with peat was just a no-no. She's like,
I thought sweet peat. So, sweet peat is the ultimate combo.
Yeah, I think maybe if you're a whiskey fan, but if you're trying to get someone else on there, maybe start with something else first. So the last one, the fourth, was of course had to be a bourbon, Eagle Rare, classic. Good value, available everywhere in the UK, and that was amazing. Like, just tasted like a dream. I could have done litres of the stuff. So took that one away, made it again, and then crushed up half a pack or a small pack of Maltesers, blended that in there as well. So you had then the Malteser Eagle Rare vanilla.
That one piqued my interest,
and it was delightful. So like the texture.
So it's the same base vanilla, but you added to it Maltesers.
Yep. Yeah.
You crushed them right up, right?
And then crushed them up in a bag and then tipped them in. Then obviously blended it all together.
So is that that seems like it's moving into sort of what's that thing they do at McDonald's?
Posher.
The slush. What are they called? McDonald's. Yeah, that feels like it's moving into McFlurry territory. Yeah,
but that's what you get in, like, you get posh milkshake shops in London where you choose your sweets to blend into a milkshake. You can have whatever you want. So, Eagle Rare Maltesers vanilla milkshake, absolute beast, stunning stuff. And then just before coming in here, because I then sort of felt a bit guilty that I hadn't made more milkshakes, I got the Carte d'Or chocolate and couldn't be arsed with the milk, so I just basically threw a load of whiskey in with some ice cream before I came on air. And so I did the Thompson Brothers TB BSW, aged over 6 years. Very nice. Works well with the chocolate ice cream. Would be excellent as a milkshake. However, what has trumped it significantly was the Tamdhu 15. So, Tamdhu 15 into chocolate ice cream with a bit of milk on top is going to be outstanding. So, I'd recommend that one. Can't really think... If I was going to add something, I would maybe get some dark chocolate with raspberry bits, crush that up and throw that in. And then
it's funny you should say that, because I thought I thought that what would have improved the half chocolate, half salted caramel one would have been if I'd done some dark chocolate shavings, put those in there. I thought that might have just given it a bit of balance between the sort of bitter chocolate and the sweet milky chocolate.
Yeah. Well, the cart door chocolate came with.
It does. It has some in there, but I feel like it could have done with a bit more.
And it was just
a bit
missing,
more bitterness.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah. But try that. The dark chocolate, the Lindt dark chocolate with raspberry, always works well with peated stuff and bourbons. That I think would work amazing with the tannin.
So did you?
Yeah.
So was that all of yours? And what was your favourite then from those? Oh, the Malteser one.
Hands down, Malteser
Eagle Rare. So that's like your.
Yeah. The Maltese Eagle.
Well, that's what I was going to ask is, have you come up with names for them? So the Maltese Eagle. Yeah.
That's it. I sacked the rest off. No point.
But a fail.
Gone. Yeah.
I just had to think back for mine. I think obviously that one with the caramel chocolate and Booker's, that'll be the Biscoff because it had Biscoff in it. And then I've come up with something about is it a smoothie cardo for the avocado one?
Smoothie cardo.
And then the one with the frog in it, time for a lemon the frog. Yeah. Because it's obviously I work on that. And then I don't know, something like sweet Pete or something for the one with Talisker and caramel. Sweet Pete Cow or something. I come up with a name for it. I couldn't really get much past that. Would be the Biscoff, to be honest.
Sweet Caroline.
Oh, sweet Carameline. Sweet Carameline. That'll do. Well done. Carameline.
This is how we come up with episode titles before.
We don't usually do foodie pods, do we? But Spotify has categorized us officially as food, despite us trying to categorize ourselves as something else. It seems we're sort of in between two categories with them. That would be my only criticism of Spotify as a platform. If you're a podcaster and you're listening to this, which we're probably speaking to about no one now, but if you're a podcaster and you're listening to this, then if you sign up for the Spotify platform, you can only pick one thing that apparently you are. That's it. Whereas other platforms allow you to pick 3-4 things that you are. So, and if you change it, then Spotify just continues to tag you and the other thing regardless. So, yeah, this is a food pod to keep Spotify happy. It's a food pod to keep Spotify happy. Otherwise, they'll come around and knock on our door.
Yeah. You haven't done enough food content.
If
you're like, I haven't
we had an agreement. You have to do one episode about food-related content. Whiskey doesn't count every 10 episodes or something. Yeah. We haven't held up our end of the bargain. So, we're sorry about that, Spotify. Yeah.
And the curry episode is coming at some point, which I think we've been saying since episode 1.
It's just a continuous tease, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm looking forward to most, to be honest, the curry episode. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think we put a bit of pressure on ourselves around the curry episode, I think. Maybe that's why we're not doing it.
It's just because neither of us can be asked to make curry, to be honest. That's the truth, isn't it? We're not.
Can we just get it taken away?
Just get taken away. That's what we should do. I'm going to get Tiffin Belfast down the road. Yeah. I've recovered from when I bought curry off them and was eating it and found bits of metal in it, called them up on the phone, and I went, "There's metal in my takeaway curry," and they went, "No, there isn't," and I went, "Well, there is." I went, "No, there is. I've just bitten into it. There's metal in it," and they went, "That's not from us." I went, "It is from you. I'm calling you to tell you in case." I was like, "You need to check your food preparation area. I'm not calling to sue you. I'm not calling to shout. I'm calling to tell you that it's lucky I haven't broken a tooth. For a start, I haven't hurt myself. It's lucky. But you should be very concerned that somebody else could also have metal in their curry.
Somebody else is going to sue
you. Get yourselves organised, right? Or check your food.
Yeah. No, it better say no, all part of the flavour, sir.
It was meant to be in there. It was just a hard bit of naan bread. But you know, it's like when you've had a bad experience, it takes you a while to go back to that thing, doesn't it? But
it was it's
so annoying because their curry's so good. So I went back to them eventually after like 18 months or something, or 2 years.
You should have gone in and said, "I need an apology," and then I'll do something.
No, I just they won't talk to you. They just say, "What do you want to order?" Put more metal in his curry. More metal.
Yeah. You sure they didn't give you like a
scouring
spoon
pads that are made out of metal? They're just called scourers.
Oh,
like Brillo scourers. They just chop one of those up with a really sharp knife and put it in my curry. Yeah.
Yeah. Bit of texture.
Good news is now the whiskey embargo has ended. We can now finally purchase whichever celebrity whiskey we want in samples to do more Celebrity Top Trumps episodes.
Oh yeah,
because I've been really looking forward to that. So I have anyway. So
does it count if I don't? Because I want to see.
You do whatever you want at this point. No one cares. I mean, I was like the only person that cared, and I've stopped caring. So it's on you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's because you lost. That's why.
Did I?
2-0.
Let's just wrap up this.
Yes.
Yeah, I lost that,
Yes.
but did I lose? Really? I didn't.
Yes.
I got
Yes.
bargains.
Yes.
No, I didn't
man
lose
lost.
because
Yeah, each one of those is going to taste like a loss. There's going to be a bit of sadness in each tram. You're like, oh, I'm getting a weird note. It's like salty water coming from my eye. It's like that's
it'd
a
be like
tear.
around Christmas time, and I'd be like,
Mate, classic. I meant to say. So
Yeah.
this week, I always like if I do something or someone says something stupid, I write it down or like WhatsApp myself.
Do you write
Lara
down
this
everything
week
you
was
say?
talking about Isla. Yeah,
I had to say that.
it's just
sorry.
like permanently recorded. And Isla had a bad eye, and Lara went, maybe she's got a blocked tear duct. And I went, a what? And she went, a blocked tear duct. I went,
Yeah.
like a Drake. She's like, no, a tear duct. And she's looking at me. I went, you actually think that's the right word, don't you? I was like,
my
it's a
days, well,
duct. She went, no, it's not. It's a duck.
Mike, you would have been so good. You could have said to her, "Okay, we need to check how it's blocked. What we need to do is you have to whisper into her eye, right, into the tear duct, and if it echoes, you know that it's it's not a duck,
No.
right?
It's better. What I did instead was just break up some bread and leave it on the counter to see if the duck came out.
Oh,
that was such a muttly laugh.
that's good. I snorted again. Yeah, that's good, man. That's good.
Oh.
Good times.
So I cut you off. What you saying?
I was
about
just going to
Christmas?
say that I'll be doing tasting notes of this Tamdo 18 in 4 months' time or 5 months' time, or probably sometime around autumn or something when I actually open it.
Yeah.
And it'll taste a loss.
it'll taste like
a
tear
loss.
duck.
All I can taste is just loss.
Yeah, I hope so.
It won't
I
be.
hope
It'll taste amazing.
it
You
hits
actually haven't tried that Tamdo 18, have you?
only at
Festival.
a
Oh
festival
yeah, and you'd already had
where-
that stupid Danish whiskey, so you couldn't taste anything.
Yeah, but like I think you made me have about 5 samples because you went to a whiskey festival and drank nothing but Hamdu 18.
Correct. Yeah, I don't deny it. So anyway,
Love it.
if you
Good.
thanks so much for listening to this one, and it's thanks from me, Mike.
Big thank you from me. As always, follow us on all the socials at Honest to a Malt. Follow Duncan at Whiskey Tip, myself, Mike at Whiskey Wings, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye bye bye.